Hi, it's Erin, and I just wanted to come to you guys real quick and just share with you something that happened to me today that I thought was, let me turn it on. There we go. It was a little revealing as to how people tend to view me, and again, I think it goes back to what I was saying as far as visible imperfections and how that motivates people. How I think with overweight people, you see that they're overweight and you automatically feel like, oh, I've got something over on them because they're fat and I'm not. Now, mind you, again, I don't think that my weight inhibits me from doing the things that I like to do, or at least I try not to let it anymore. It used to. But anyway, I was at work today, and we were in a class, and we were doing some team building exercises. And one of the exercises was called Lost at Sea, and it basically had a list of 15 items. You had to pick 6 of the items to take with you on a ship or on a rubber boat because your ship was sinking. So it was everybody in the group, everybody who's there got to choose, something, and we all had to agree. That was the purpose of the test. So there was a girl there, and this is the second day of class, and again, I've worked at this job for over a year, so it's not like this is the first time she's ever seen me. But one of the items on the list was 2 boxes of chocolate bars, and I was against it because I felt like it's chocolate bars. We had one was a case of army rations and a fish kit, and so I thought that would be better than 2 boxes of chocolate bars. One of the girls asked, how many bars are in the case and all this nonsense. So one of the girls who was really for the chocolate bars had made a comment and said, it's really high caloric intake and, will, keep you alive, basically. So one of the girls sitting next to me had asked, well, is it going to fill you up? And she, so she commented, yeah, it's going to fill you up. It's got a high caloric intake. And the other girl taps me. She's like, no offense, before she makes her next statement. I'm like, okay, and she says, how is it going to fill up Erin because she's the biggest person here? Now, I kind of laughed it off, like, like I just kind of made a face, like, what the fuck does that mean? And the reason why I didn't say anything, because I'm at work, and I didn't want to get into some argument that she was going to deny that she meant it that way. But I felt like, at the end of the day, why would you say something to somebody like that? Why would you say no offense if you didn't mean it to be offensive? Like, you knew it was going to be offensive when you said it, which is why you said no offense. So my thing is, why even go there? Like, why? Number one, it was a useless statement. It didn't have any place. We weren't, number one, you didn't ask me. It wasn't like, she was like, oh, is that going to fill you up? But do you think that's enough? And I said, no. You never asked me. You just made an assumption. Okay. I've had lap band surgery, and it takes very little for things to fill me up. So not even knowing that, you didn't even ask me. So you just assume because I'm a big person that I'm going to eat a fucking whale? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is what irritates me about people that make assumptions based on size. Whether I was skinny or whether I'm overweight. The fact that you make an assumption what's going to fill me up. You don't fucking know me. Then she makes a comment. I'm the biggest person in the class, okay? Let's examine that. There were 9 people in the class, 1 guy, 8 girls. All right, out of all of those people, 2 people were probably at an ideal weight. One of them was on a diet. She was losing weight. But, from my perception, she looked like she had been at an ideal weight. Maybe she's just, going to get at her ultimate ideal weight, whatever that is. But there's only 2 people in there who looked like they were already at an ideal weight. Everybody else, including the girl that said this to me, could stand to lose a couple of fucking pounds. Having said that, what I think it is I take a lot of pride in how I present myself and how I dress and all of that. And it is very difficult for someone of my size to find nice clothes. So when I do find nice clothes, people are always like, oh my God, where did you get that? That's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. So I never come in my job ever looking like I rolled out of the goddamn bed. I work in a call center environment, and a lot of people tend to look like they rolled up out of bed. Now that's your choice. No, you know, I mean, if you're a smaller size and you have nice clothes at home and you choose not to wear them, that's your problem. But I also feel like people feel intimidated by the fact that I wear or that I dress that way, and feel like, you know, the only way to I guess chop me down a size is to make a comment about my weight. And I think that's what irritates me. And what irritates me is like, say something else. You know, okay, so let's go based on the fact that let's say that you're right and that I am the biggest girl there. I'm also the best dressed here. I'm also the best well-kept bitch here. You know, I'm, you know, also the most professional. So what else do you have to say besides the fact that I weigh more than you? You know, and again, I think that that's what irritates me. You know, because, you know, it would be one thing if, you know, if I was sitting there saying, you know, oh, well, I'm so fat and chocolate bar is not going to keep me, you know, and then she would have just said something because I didn't want to say anything. But the fact that you took it upon yourself to make an assessment about my motherfucking weight as if I'm sitting here, as if I told you something, tells me that you're somehow intimidated by me and what and how I present myself makes you feel. Because as a thinner person, and again, she was not thin. Okay, let's be, you know, real. You know, I'm a size 22. So she may have been a 14, 16. So she's still well up in the plus size range too. But, you know, not as big as me. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I still look better than you. So what does that say about you? Well, you can still shop at certain stores that I can't shop at because they don't carry my fucking size. You can still shop at nice stores and get nice clothes, and you still look like you rolled the fuck up out of bed. And again, that's your business. Maybe you don't wear your nice clothes to work. Again, I don't know where the fuck else you go. I always see you here. I don't see what the point is of not wearing your nice clothes to work. But if that's the way you want to carry yourself, by all means. But the fact that you would say that to me says that, you know, you're intimidated by me in some other way. And I say this to say to other people that are overweight to really examine and dissect why people say what they say. Because people are going to say nasty comments. People are going to make nasty comments. And people are going to say things, oh, no offense, but how the fuck else was I going to take that statement but offensively? So I say that to say people are going to make comments and they're going to say things to make you feel bad about yourself. And it's up to you to look through that and say, where did that really come from? Because again, I didn't provoke it. It wasn't unnecessary. And it was an unnecessary comment for what we were doing. It wasn't necessary. And for her to say that, it just to me says that you were going out of your way to be nasty for no reason. And I say that again, like I said, just you have to find within yourself ways to be motivated. And if people are going to say nasty comments about you, shrug it off. Shrug it off. Because again, that was unnecessary and it was mean and it was nasty. And it came from, you know, and again, I didn't say anything because I'm at work. You know, I'm not going to get into no argument with some girl at my job, you know, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a professional. I don't do that. But for you to say that meant, you know, that it didn't come out of anywhere. It wasn't a useful statement. It was just a statement just to be hurtful and nasty. And, you know, it's just going to come from people like that. And I say that to say, you know, it's very easy to pick on people who are overweight because it's the first imperfection you see. It's not, you know, and again, in this case, it's the only imperfection that, you know, if we're sizing each other up, it's the only imperfection that you could come up with. You know, this is the only thing that you could say that can say, oh, you know, well, I'm better than her because I'm thinner than her. Well, checkpoint for you, I guess. Checkpoint for you. But I think if anything, it makes you look worse that here's this big bitch that looks 10 times better than you. But whatever. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and just, again, this is about my journey and what I'm going through. And, you know, I still stand here. I'm still, you know, still alive, you know. It hasn't changed how I feel about myself, and it won't make me go into work with my head, you know, my tail between my legs and, you know, my head slung low. It won't. I'll still walk in my job, head held high, and I'll still dress the way I dress, and I'll still carry myself the way I carry myself. But it's just, you know, for me, it was just a realization that, wow, there are people out there that will go out of their way, not just on the message boards and Facebook and all that stuff, that will say nasty things to you, to your face and at your job for no reason. Well, I just wanted to come to you and say that. Thanks.